Alright guys, for those of you math whizzes out there that wanted to try to do the multi-step equations and multi-step inequalities by hand, here's a couple walkthroughs for you, a couple sample problems. So right here we have an example of an equation that has only x's, and so we're solving for x. We want to know what is x equal to make this statement true, where this expression on the left side will be equal to the expression on the right. What is x going to equal to make that true? So it's a multi-step. So that means we're just going to take a couple steps to break it down and simplify it on both sides, and then get x isolated on one side by itself. So first we want to take care of the parentheses if there are any. So right here we have parentheses. So we're going to distribute the 3 evenly to everything inside the parentheses. So 3 times 2x gives us 6x. 3 times positive 4 gives us positive 12. And then over here it was a positive, so these all stay the same. If it was a minus 3 or negative 3, these would have been the opposites. And then we have our 5x, which gets brought down because it wasn't multiplying. So we didn't do anything for the 5x in this step. We were only distributing on the first step. No distribution needed on the first step on the right side, so we bring it down. Now we move on down to our next step. The next step is we go ahead and combine like terms. So are there any x's on the same side? Okay, or you can get all the x's onto one side first. Either way it works. Now personally, I like to get all the same variables or the x's on the same side. So these x's are on the wrong side. I've got two sets of x's here, so I'm going to bring these across. So that'll be minus 15x. That'll make it disappear over here and turn into 0. That means I got to bring it on this side. So minus 15x. All right, and then also, this 12 doesn't have an x, so I'm not going to be able to combine it with these. Okay, because these have x's, this doesn't, so I need to move that. So positive 12, I subtract it to make it 0, so it'll come over here. If I do it to one side, minus 12, I have to do minus 12 to the other, okay, to keep it balanced. So that'll cancel out that and that. Those went to 0. Now I'm left with 5x plus 6x, and then our new one, minus 15x, equals minus 8, which is now negative 8 because there's nothing in front of the dash. So it's a minus, or sorry, it's a negative now. And then minus 12 because the dash has a number in front of it. So it becomes a minus instead of a negative. And now we simplify. We simplify our like terms, combine our like terms. So 5x plus 6x, well, that's 11x. And then 11x minus 15x is going to give us a negative 4x. And then over here we have a negative 8 minus 12, which is going to give us a negative 20. And then our final step to get x by itself, the only thing over here other than x's is just this 4, the negative 4, which is multiplying times x, because it's right next to it. If it's right next to it, it's multiplying. So how do we undo multiplying? Well, we divide. So we're going to divide both sides by that negative 4, which will then cancel down to positive 1, which will be positive 1x equals negative 20 divided by negative 4, which is a positive 5. All right, and you can go and plug this back in and make sure it works. 5 times 5 is 25. And then on the inside over here, so let's see, let's throw that up top. Let's change colors so it'll be easier to see what we're solving. So when we plug in 5, because that's what we solved, this will give us 25 plus, and then we got, let's see, 2 times 5 is 10, 10 plus 4 is 14, 14 times 3, what's that going to give us? Let's see, 30, 42, and that all equals 67. Can always go back and double check it, I could be wrong. Let's see, 15 times 5, that gives us what, 75? Right, 75 there, and then minus 8. So 75 minus 8 gives us 67. So it does. This side, whenever x equals 5 equals 67. When x equals 5 over here, it equals 67. Those two numbers are equal to each other. So the x that makes this statement true is x equals 5. Now let's check it out with an inequality. Okay, so right down here. We've got 4x plus 2 is less than or equal to 9 times x plus 3. All right, it's going to be the same steps. The only difference is we have an inequality sign. That's it. All right, so that's going to be my middle. I'm going to draw a line right down through there. And again, parentheses are here, so I need to get rid of those first. It's multiplying times a number, so I need to distribute the 9 evenly to the inside. 9 times x yields 9x. 9 times positive 3 gives us a positive 27. No parentheses on the left, so I just bring it down. sign stays the same. Now we get the x's on the same side, so let me move this 9x to the other side. I like my x's on the left, and I like to move the regular numbers, my integers, to the right. So again, it was a positive 2, subtracted it to make it 0, and since I subtracted 2 on one side, I have to subtract 2 on the other. Same with the 9x's. It was a positive 9x. I needed to take it away, okay, and do the opposite, so minus 9x. Did it on the other side, that becomes 0. So I'm left with 4x minus 9x on the left, and 27 minus 2 on the right. Now I combine like terms. 4x's minus 9x's, or 4 minus 9, is going to give me negative 5x's. Less than or equal to, I just bring the sign down again. Okay, my inequality. 27 minus 2 gives us 25. And our last step, because it's multiplying times x, the only way I can get that negative 5 to detach itself is to separate them by dividing. So I divide by negative 5. Now, there was one trick when we're doing inequalities with multi-step. If you divide by a negative, very important, you flip the sign. So our sign is going to flip the other direction. That goes to 1x. 25 divided by negative 5 is a negative 5. So our answer is x is greater than or equal to negative 5. Now, how do we check this? Well, we take a number that's greater than or equal to negative 5 and we plug it into our original equation and see if it works. So, what's a number greater than negative 5? Well, 0 is greater than negative 5, right? So, let's plug in 0. 4 times 0 is 0. 0 plus 2, well, that's easy, 2. And then we keep our sign here, less than or equal to. And then 0 plus 3 is 3. 3 times 9 is 27. Is 2 less than or equal to 27? Yeah, 2 is definitely less than 27. So this worked out. So there you go, guys. Practice it. Try it out.